on to basketball. Can you update us on Reggie and Duran and MRIs?
Both had MRIs. Reggie, I'd say, is probable for tomorrow, and I think Duran will be more of a game time decision.
What is it that they each
What's
have?
that word we're going to use?
Questionable for Duran,
Questionable.
and available for Reggie.
Yeah.
Questionable and available. So available means he's cleared to play, Reggie?
Yeah,
And
but,
Duran is
you know,
not.
they're not going to practice today. They're both nursing injuries.
They get hurt. I don't remember them getting hurt, Jim. What can you?
Well, Duran got hurt on his drive to the basket very late in the game, where he ended up on the floor.
Yeah, he
twisted.
limped off
Right.
very late.
And Reggie was much earlier. I was watching the video last night. It was probably about 5 or 6 minutes left.
In the game?
Twisted it. And,
I didn't even notice him limping or anything. Well,
yeah, he did.
So how does that change your preparation going into a game tomorrow?
Well, we don't have them for practice, so we've got to adjust the practice plan to accommodate that. But one of the nice things is Garius Adams and Julian Gamble have been cleared to practice. They started last week, so we've got enough guys to practice correctly. We just won't have 2 of our starters.
Do you expect, do you kind of feel like they're going to play? You're not preparing as if someone else is going to start in their place?
We're going to practice and see how things go today and not make any decision until we're pretty sure how they're feeling tomorrow.
You mentioned Julian. He's not playing this year, though, right? He's just practicing with you guys?
No, he's just been cleared to practice.
And Garius, Jim, what's his?
He's available now.
Could he play tomorrow?
He could.
How much does he practice?
Just a little bit, maybe for the last 5 days.
How does he look?
One day he looked great. What day was that? Monday of this week? He looked terrific. But his knee swelled up. So it's kind of a day-to-day thing with him. When you have surgery, you can't rush it back. And every day of practice, you're nursing it back to health afterwards, icing it down and stretching it out. Wes Brown does a great job with them.
Can you talk about just what you tell the team now, with 5 games left? The average fan is sitting there looking at Lunardi, bracketology, and trying to figure out where you guys are in the bubble and all that. What do you tell them with 5 games left in the regular season?
We're just preparing for one game, Wake Forest. Wake Forest won a very nice home game on Wednesday. They switched their lineup and went smaller. They switched their defense and went zone. So we've got to prepare for Wake Forest. That's the only game that matters right now.
Can you talk about Reggie Johnson a little bit more and what he's been able to do? We were kind of surprised with how good he's been this year.
Well, one of my impressions from my experience is that players who sit out an extended period of time, a month, 2 months, 5 months in Reggie's case, it takes that long to get back to where you were before you got hurt, before you had the surgery. And Reggie was out for 5 months. He probably needs 5 months to get back, which means he's got to work on the strength and conditioning of that leg, the flexibility of the leg. He has done remarkably well. He's played more minutes than I ever could have imagined. He's helped the team at both ends of the court. He's been a very solid rebounder. He's scored in double figures, averaging double figures in ACC play. And he's helped Kenny Kaji, Duran Scott, and others to play even better than they were playing.
And going back to before the season, you visited all the players, you visited Reggie in North Carolina in his hometown. What was your message to him at that point? I think he was still thinking, deciding if he was going to come back? Or...
Well, at that time, our discussion was whatever is best for you is fine with us. If he decided he wanted to go pro at that time, more power to him. If he's able to sign an NBA contract and live his dream, that's great. However, if he wasn't ready to do that, if he wanted to come back, we were confident that we'd have that scholarship for him and believed that he would be a great contributor to our program. At that time, we had no idea that he would get injured, though.
When you look back at the game, Wednesday night, Jim, Anything stand out that maybe didn't stand out to you immediately after the game?
Yeah, I think we need to become a better rebounding team. I think our defense on first shots is getting better and better. Carolina's field goal percentage overall was under 40%, under 30% from three. Yet they were able to score 24 points off of their missed shots. That's way too many. They got more offensive rebounds than we did defensive rebounds. So that's an area that is a concern and an area of focus for us.
Had that been in other games too, or was it more
Yeah.
glaring in North Carolina?
No, it just happens to be an area. We're a better offensive rebounding team than we are a defensive rebounding team. Offensive rebounds, when the shot goes up, we just head to the glass and try to go get the ball. Defense, we tend to watch the flight of the ball and not block out. And that's a fundamental that we're working on. We drill it, but we really need to do a better job of being more physical and keep the opponent from getting there.
Coach, I know you talked about Malcolm the other night, and you talked about him doing things other than scoring that are helping the team. Can you just kind of add to that, and do you need him to score more, or are you okay with what he's doing right now?
No, we need Malcolm to shoot the ball better and to average double-figure points. If he can get between 10 and 15 points every night, that's really what we need. If he gets 17 or 20 a couple of nights, that'd be even better. But to do that, we know he's not going to get 20 shots. We're a well-balanced team. We have 4 guys averaging double figures. And like the other night, we had 4 guys in double figures, Trey McKinney, Jones, and Kenny, Reggie, and Durant, 4 guys in double figures. But we want him to be one of them because he's such a threat from three-point range, and when he's shooting the ball well, it makes our offense run more smoothly.
What else does he do, aside from shooting? What else that maybe that we don't see on the stat sheet that helps the offense or helps the team?
Well, even when he's not shooting, he's getting so much attention from the defense that it opens up driving opportunities for Durant because they won't leave Malcolm open. Every team that we've played so far has denied him the ball. And normally the guy who's guarding him is bigger than him. The other night, Bullock is 6'7". Sometimes it was Harrison Barnes, who's 6'8", 230 pounds, guarding a guy who's about 6 feet, $150, $170, So he has a physical challenge of having to go against that kind of size and athlete. And when they're denying him the ball, it's harder for him to get the ball and then harder for him to get shots. So most of his shots come off the dribble, off the ball screen. And even that, it's from pretty deep.
What have you talked to him? I know you guys have these little chats. What's been your latest advice to him going into tomorrow's game?
Well, I told you before the North Carolina game. I talked to him last night a little bit, but probably the biggest thing is he puts a lot of pressure on himself. And you really want to play stress-free. You don't want to play the score. You don't want to play the opponent. You want to relax and enjoy the game. Let the game come to you and have fun playing. And right now, for a senior, as his career is winding down at the college level, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself.
Were you able to talk to Larkin maybe about after last game about using on the bench for most of the
I talked to him at length last night, and he's a very, very smart basketball player. He understood that Carolina's very big. We needed to put a bigger lineup out there. We moved Durant to the 1 and Trey to the 2 and Ryan to the 3, Kenny at the 4 and Reggie at the 5. That's probably the biggest lineup we can put out there at their natural positions. But like tomorrow we play Wake Forest, they're playing a small lineup. They're playing forwards at the 4 and 5. They got Masharikoff at the 5 and McKee at the 4. And both those guys are small forwards. So we have the opposite problem. The size is now smaller, quicker athletes who can shoot and put the ball on the ground and drive. So we've got to adjust to that.
So it'll start tomorrow. Larkin will start
Oh,
tomorrow.
yeah.
And if Durant and Reggie are available and to play and to start, Jim, you feel the same starting lineup that you had? Nothing changed?
Well, I don't want to, predict anything at this point. We haven't practiced. We've got to see how everybody is and talk to Durant. I haven't talked to him since he got back from his MRI. He might, say to me, "Hey, I want to go, but I don't think I'm going to be able to." I mean, that impacts my thinking. Talk to Reggie as well.
How do you you've had 2 days, I guess, to prepare for Wake. How do you jam everything in those 2 days to get ready?
Well, the first day we took off because we're beat up, rest, we need to rest. We have some guys who were hurt and they had to see the doctor. We have other guys who are tired, worn out. Kenny Kaji played 35 minutes, battled against Zeller and Henson, and that's a heavy load to carry. So, but I'm sure we'll be ready tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have a good practice today.
You guys have made a real push to get students in the stands. Anything new you're doing for this game tomorrow?
Well, we did the same thing on Monday. We just did it for
Right.
both games, but
Okay.
we are very, very happy with the student turnout. There's 1,500 tickets available for the students, and every one of them was used. So I think that ties the largest student attendance in any game in the University of Miami history.
Are you gonna have more available? Maybe you should have 2,000.
I'm
Why
not
do
charging
they
that,
only have
Michelle.
why do they
Talk to the
only have
person in
1,500?
charge of that.
There's plenty of seats. They could give more than 1,500 to the students, right?
Well, are you in charge of marketing?
No.
Me either.
So they would actually turn, if the 1,501st student showed up, they wouldn't let them in?
Would you please talk to the marketing director? I don't know.
Get in trouble.
Hey, Michelle, we had something great happen on Wednesday, 1,500 tickets. Now we're going to look at, well, what happens if 1,550 want to come? Are you going to turn 50 away? That's not a topic for conversation today. If we can get 1,500 again on Saturday, I'm going to be pleased as punch.
What can the
And I'll tell you this, Michelle. If 1,550 show up, I'll buy the other 50 tickets.
There you go. No, they were good.
Which
They were loud
we
and-
did back years ago, right?
George
I
Mason.
think Liz didn't really want to do that much. But we did.
what can us in the media do to help attendance?
Write a lot of great things about the coach. No, it is what it is. It really is. That, now, don't quote me on that. That was a joke.
I was scratching something out.
Okay. Really what it is developing a relationship. Developing a relationship with the community, with young kids in the town, their parents, our student body, our faculty, our alumni, all of Coral Gables, the city of Miami, Broward County, Dade County, all these groups, communities, if they start following our program, if it gets in the newspaper more and it's positive, like after the Duke game, there was quite a buzz. If we had beaten North Carolina, that would have grown. And the whole idea is we need to build on that. And we got close, but no cigar. So we got to keep inching forward. You don't improve by leaps and bounds. You improve by inches and feet.
UNC and the game before at the FSU, they were probably two of the most physical games the team had to play this year. Is there any challenge to prepare the team? Do you prepare the team differently when you go up against a team that, tends to really get at it and use their muscle and?
Yeah, you practice very physically. We try to do that anyway. It's not changing for the opponent. The whole instructional point of view is we have a 5-step approach to teaching: explanation, demonstration, imitation, correction, and repetition. So when we first start teaching our defense and our rebounding, it begins with an explanation of what is expected. And it's all about being physical and fundamental. And then someone who does it well demonstrates it. And if they demonstrate it correctly, then it's up to the other guys to imitate it. And if someone's not doing it exactly right, it's up to the coaches then to correct it. And then when we start doing it right all the time, we just repeat it, so it becomes a habit. Habits are what eventually become instincts. But you don't have to think about it, you just do it. It's like tying your shoe in the morning. You got laces?
Yeah.
Did you think about it when you tied? I got to write right over it and do the loop part. You don't even think about it. And that's what rebounding is, that's what shooting is. It's a habit, it's an instinct. You don't have to think about it. It's what Nike says. And you can use this quote, just do it.
Thanks.
Coach, I had a question. On our network, there was a story today about an Alabama football recruit who got